He called me a prostitute. Said I made videos with underage kids. In my small southern town, that could have destroyed me. But instead, he lost his brand new $150,000 car, his reputation, his college future, and eventually, his freedom. And yes, I made sure of it. If you've ever been underestimated, if someone has ever tried to ruin your life with lies, you're going to love this story. Make sure to hit subscribe, drop a like, and comment down below the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen. Because this is poetic justice at its finest. Let's dive in. I grew up in what most people would call a small town. You know the kind. Same families for generations, everybody knows everybody's business, and rumors spread faster than wildfire. It wasn't technically tiny, our high school was big, but when you live with the same faces, the same gossip and the same traditions for 18 years straight, it feels small, and in this small, conservative, deeply southern town, I had one label stamped on my forehead before I even hit high school. I was the gay kid. Coming out young wasn't easy. A lot of people whispered, judged, and made me feel like I was wearing a scarlet letter. But thankfully, my family had my back, and I had a few good friends. That was enough to keep me going. Now, eventually, more kids came out. One of them was a boy 2 years younger than me. Let's call him P.I., short for Psycho Incel. He came from a wealthy family. Spoiled, entitled, and driving a brand new, flashy car worth more than some people's homes. When he came out, a mutual friend asked me to be nice, give him advice, and maybe mentor him a bit, since I'd already gone through the worst of the small-town drama. I said yes. Big mistake. We met up for coffee once, just to talk, and apparently that was enough for him to decide he had feelings for me. He confessed, and I politely, gently told him no. I was already in a relationship, and not just any relationship. I was deeply, deeply in love with my boyfriend, but rejection? P.I. couldn't handle it. A few weeks later, our school's tradition of junior-senior wars was heating up. It's basically a prank war, usually harmless, with rules to keep it from going too far. There was a group chat with over 1,000 kids in it to coordinate. I wasn't interested. So I posted that I wasn't participating and asked people not to mess with my house since it was rented. That's when P.I. struck. In front of everyone in that massive group chat, he wrote, "What, can't afford to buy it? What are you doing with all that money you make being a prostitute for your 50-year-old boyfriend?" The air left my lungs. My hands shook. The world spun. He didn't just insult me. He went after the man I loved, spreading a disgusting, humiliating lie in a place where everybody would see it. Coaches pulled me aside. Teachers whispered. Religious classmates smirked. Suddenly, I wasn't just the gay kid. I was a prostitute. And in a town like ours, that label can stick for life. But P.I. wasn't done. Not long after, I got a call from a close friend. Their voice was shaky, and I knew instantly something was wrong. P.I. had taken it further. He was now telling people that I had cheated on my boyfriend. I had filmed it, and worst of all, he said it was with a junior. Someone under 18. I felt my stomach drop into ice water. That's not just reputation ruining. That's the kind of rumor that could land me in prison. That could destroy my future, my relationship, my entire life. Luckily, the junior he tried to drag into this was not only straight, but also very well liked. He immediately shut it down and even gave me proof, screenshots, DMs, everything, showing P.I. was the one spreading lies and harassing him. Still, I realized something that night. P.I. wasn't just a spoiled brat. He wasn't just petty. He was dangerous. And if I didn't fight back, he was going to destroy me. That's when the revenge plan started to form. P.I. had just gotten that shiny new car, a replacement after he totaled the old one by literally driving it through someone's house. Yeah, that's the kind of person he was. And I thought, if he can spread lies about me, maybe it's time to spread a little pain back into his perfect, spoiled world. I wasn't going to just slash his tires or spray paint his car. No. I wanted something creative, something that would drive him absolutely insane. So I did my research, and I went shopping. From the farthest bait and tackle shop I could find, I bought the stinkiest, nastiest jar of catfish bait known to man. If you don't fish, let me tell you, catfish bait smells like death dipped in sewage. Then, armed with nails, Vaseline, gravel, poison ivy leaves, and that jar of hell slop, I went to work one cold February morning first. The nails. I hammered them into 3 of his tires. Not enough to pop them instantly, but just deep enough that over time, each one would slowly deflate. Inconvenient, costly, and they'd look like accidents. Second, poison ivy. I rubbed it all over his car door handles. Imagine reaching for your luxury car door, only to end up with a raging rash spreading up your arms. Third, Vaseline mixed with gravel on his windshield wipers. The first time he turned them on, goodbye, pristine glass. Hello, deep, permanent scratches, but the pièce de résistance, the catfish bait. After hours of Googling, I figured out how to access the AC system. And then carefully, I poured the entire jar of bait inside. The beauty of it? He wouldn't even notice. Not at first. But as the weeks passed, that bait would rot, ferment, grow stronger. And the first warm day when he turned on that expensive AC system, his luxury car would become a rolling coffin of pure stench. A smell so foul, so putrid, he'd never find the source. It would cling to the seats, the vents, the carpet. Permanent. I didn't get to see his reaction firsthand. But knowing what was coming, that was satisfaction enough. But the universe wasn't finished with P.I. I kept an eye on his socials through a burner account, just in case he tried to spread more lies. Then one day, I noticed something strange. His accounts were gone. Curious, I Googled his name. And what I found? Pure, delicious karma, P.I. had been arrested. In another state. For trying to impersonate a government official while bringing a gun into a theme park. You can't make this stuff up. I had screenshots, mugshots, and articles. And I made sure everyone saw them. His job, his future college, our entire high school. Even that 1,000-person group chat. By the end of the day, his shiny reputation was shredded. He went from spoiled golden boy to disgraced criminal. And me? I got my life back. P.I. lost it all. His $150,000 car, ruined. His spotless reputation, gone. His college plans, crushed. And his freedom, taken away by his own stupidity. Meanwhile, I left that town behind. I had my acceptance to a top university, a boyfriend who loved me, and a family who stood by my side. For the first time in years, I felt free. Sometimes the universe hands out justice, but sometimes you've got to deliver it yourself. P.I. thought he could spread lies, destroy my life, and get away with it. Instead, he ended up jobless, carless, and behind bars. And honestly, I can't think of a better ending, so tell me, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? Drop it in the comments below because I'd love to read them. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. It helps more people discover these insane tales of justice. Until next time, remember, don't mess with someone who has nothing to lose.